It's Madden NFL 24, and we'll see a longtime star, Patrick Peterson. He's one of the last guys you want to target in coverage. It's the Broncos and the Steelers, next on Madden NFL 24.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the world's steel capital in the city of bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Acrisure Stadium. Today, Week 12 of the NFL season is upon us, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And what a performance in his last game. A couple of touchdown passes, that was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
Escaping the pressure right. He'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 25 yards that time.
They're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just got to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Nick Bonito coming in there to record the sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. And this one too low. Trying to find Calvin Austin. And now it's 3rd down. If you look at this Bronco defense, there are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
Throughout his career, few have doubted Jameis Winston's ability to throw the football. The concerns, they've always centered around his accuracy and taking care of it. When he makes good decisions on the field, excellent numbers usually result.
They go play action. Winston in trouble, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. This defense for the Steelers, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield, but all you're seeing is...
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Baron Browning. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give them a good 10 yards on the return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And he's going to have a Broncos 1st down as good running gets him to about the 44. And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete. You look at the Steeler defense. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Completion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback when there's extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
Gets it away, and I don't think Peterson will get a chance to touch this one. Angling for the sideline. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson, eluding the pressure. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Baron Browning, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now it's Wilson, rolling to his left. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson.
They should put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. They go play action with Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
How about the show put on by these two defenses in this first half? The fireworks don't have to be just offensively. Neither one of them given an inch. And that's good coverage once again there to force another 4th down.
37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. 1st and 10 and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They begin the drive with Williams. Muscles him off. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. 18 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown.
And those numbers have both he and his blockers motivated this week. They saw that yardage total climbing, but stopped short of 100. Every one of them has to be driven this week to help them reach the century mark.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. Fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. As they've got it as we resume action. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Play fake. Winston. Pass incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Now it's 2nd and 10. A give up the middle to Evans. Oh, what a move. And he'll get this pretty close to a 1st down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 22. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. They'll try and run the option. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. And a catch right side by Evans. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's 2nd down. I think you would agree, just a good decision right there. Goes for the safe play, gets some yardage out of it.
And showed some toughness as well. As you noted, he stayed right in there. And saw the rush was coming, hung in there, took the hit, dumped it out to the outside, and now they pick up some yardage, and you have a back that's grateful to you and will continue to make plays.
It's caught on the right side. Williams. Now he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Here we go now on 1st and goal. They'll run here with Evans. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great effort there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll roll him out right. Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Going across the formation, he finds Freiermuth. That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this first half. And it's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here's Wilson. Rolling to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The Steelers at 4-7 now on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw into the hands of Pickens. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 27-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Going with a big fullback. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Derek Watt, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. That time a 6-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From his end zone, Marvin Mims. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So the Broncos coming out now. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. And they'll go right back to Evans. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Ball on the 40 now. Here's second down at 7. Jameis to throw it. His throw incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On third down, Winston. He'll air this one out for Mims. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Wilson. He'll buy some time right. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
They made a nice effort to stick it with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. They'll roll him out right. Oh, poor decision there, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. Turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, Steelers. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs, as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 14. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And coming out now, the Broncos. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe...
There he goes, right side. Down the right sideline. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then it's the wide receiver. Great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp.
Oh, another ball up for grabs here, and this one is intercepted. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
The Broncos about set to go on offense. And now following that turnover, they've got an opportunity here to try to cash in with good field position before intermission. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Off the play fake, Winston. His throw is going to be incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Work in the middle of the field. He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Broncos. Marvin Mims. 29 yards. And the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter, Trenton Gill, to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Rolling to his right. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging. to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, Bean, the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin in the AFC North, up in the land, the Battle of Ohio. Cincinnati taking on Cleveland. And it's the Browns who have the lead late in the first half. Deshaun Watson, responsible for the lone touchdown in the game thus far, as he's thrown a touchdown pass. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. A.J. Brown, a touchdown catch from Jalen Hurts. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. The Cowboys trying to hold on and claim victory. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze. These two teams making their last-minute adjustments. The second half coming your way from Pittsburgh. And to bring it to you, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Taken at the goal line. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And the Broncos offense set to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Now Jameis on second down. Finding Ertz here on the out route. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Now we give up the middle to Williams. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Shoves him aside, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 93 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. Good move at the 30. And he works it past the 30 almost to the 25. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
First down, Denver.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 27-yard line.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. He's having a big game running the... hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. T.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke.
And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety.
That's exactly what they were aiming for defensively. A huge early play that cuts off any opposing momentum at the knees. As soon as that snap was made, they were flying to the ball and through the line. Great call from the coaching staff and even better execution.
This is fielded at the 27. Denver's offense now set to go. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37. To throw is Winston. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Larry Ogunjobi. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. On 2nd down, Williams. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Ready? Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Now Winston. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Now it's Peterson. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Baron Browning able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Flushed out right. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Steelers 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as it turns out to be a big gainer there on 4th down. Now Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And this is going to fall to the ground incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. To throw again is Wilson. They'll roll him out right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Rolling to his right. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
The previous play is under review.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is full.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. Working out of the gun, Winston. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. 52 yards rushing for him now to this point. What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. Evans again, but he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. So now on 4th down, Sean Payton's going to turn it over to the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He's got this to Pickens. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
It's a gain of 22 yards. That's good.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
On third down, Wilson out to his left. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on fourth down. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position.
Ready?
They'll hand it off now. Williams. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On the counter, here's Williams. And a solid run down inside the 30. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On third down, here's Williams. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Here's 3rd and 10.
Here's Winston. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston.
And the Broncos up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Steeler offense set to regain possession. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down, eluding the pressure right. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Pets. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
There he goes, left side. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 180 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Williams. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal. Williams will score. Touchdown, Broncos. Oh, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter, Trenton Gill, to kick it away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson on the move to his left. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Nick Bonito. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. And he's able to get it out of there. Oh, a nice spin. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Broncos, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for